You know I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made, Bostonian flow, I kick it back there. Yeah, I got game, got in a fan way. We the city of the champs, every sport we play. Spit wetter than the harbor, yeah, I'm flowing like the Charles. I be speeding on this beat, call it Turnpike Miles. Yeah, it's Boo signing on.
Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Once a Week. Guys, I'm Giannouloudis, and we've got another great guest on the show today, Andrea Urciuoli. If you guys haven't been keeping up with some of the recent videos that she's helped us with, we've been diving into mindfulness. She's trained in mindfulness. She has helped us just these incredible topics. They've been so enlightening, and today we have another one in store. Guys, welcome Andrea to the show. Andrea, this topic that we just discussed to get out there,
right,
where your mind goes, energy flows. I've said that in some of my videos way back when, and there's so much truth to it. And Andrea enlightened me earlier today, and we want to bring this to you guys. So Andrea, where your mind goes, energy flows. What's that?
Oh, God, thank you for that lovely introduction. No snowy morning. Yeah, we had a great conversation this morning prior to filming this. Well, it's kind of logical, Billy. Where your mind goes, energy flows. So I'm going to hold up this book that both Billy and I are reading. This is by Dr. Joe Dispenza. It's called Becoming Supernatural. Joe Dispenza is a neuroscientist, and what he has discovered through his research is wherever you focus your energy on is basically going to come to fruition. Mm-hmm. So we've talked about this before, right?
Yeah,
so if you think that something bad is going to happen, or you're going to lose that job, or that breakup is going to happen, it will absolutely happen.
Okay.
So you and I were focusing on earlier this morning some of our circumstances in our past, your breakup and my breakup as well. And the focus for me was I was sort of in a fight or flight mode, like just getting through life.
Yeah.
And I was teaching my classes, and I noticed I wasn't really eating well, and I was starting to lose weight. But then I started to switch this, and I started to empower myself and say, use this. Go inside and use this.
Yeah.
You're losing weight, you're getting stronger. I started studying mindfulness. I started studying Reiki.
Yeah.
I started to shift my energy towards use the bad situation to make it better.
Yeah.
To help other people.
Exactly. Capitalize on the negativity.
Capitalize on the negativity. So something that I didn't like in my life happened. Okay, that happens to a lot of us. Mm-hmm. Don't stay in that state of where your brain is adapting to the negative. So Dr. Joe Dispenza calls it maladaptive. Mal meaning bad. Adapt to the positive.
Yeah.
Figure out a way to help someone else that can't get to that place that you figured out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so instead of you focusing on how bad your situation is, you're taking a step out of the situation you're in to go, whether it's help someone else out or to just completely shift that pattern. Correct?
Right.
So whether it's capitalizing on the negativity, like you just described to us with your classes and everything, you weren't eating. I've been through similar situations where the pain is just so tough. Your mind is just so focused on all the pain that you've been through that it debilitates you. It affects every aspect of your life. Your mind goes, you become depressed, you're anxious about everything. When that happened to me, I wasn't eating like at all. I wasn't even recognizing the fact that I wasn't eating. People were just like, Bill, what's going on?
Yeah.
And because my mind was so focused on the hurt I was going through from so many different areas, I wasn't focused on this. Hey, Billy, you gotta eat. Like your body's falling apart.
Yes.
So that I did capitalize on your negativity. I sat there. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I was the most stubborn eater growing up. Didn't eat vegetables. Didn't eat fruit. Didn't eat anything. I ate just the junk food. I was a typical kid. But I sat there. I was like, all right, you already lost so much weight because of the negativity that you're going through. What if you capitalized on that now and started to eat healthy? That maximized the amount I could affect my body in such a way, because I took that negativity and I threw it out the window. And I was like, I'm making sure my body can be positive where my mind goes. So where your mind goes, energy flows. Instead of focusing on the negativity that happened, I shifted it to the positive that could happen, that could become if I went this way. And that's what happened. I started to get healthier. I started to get a result in my body. And that's just a physical aspect.
Yes.
The mental aspect was the first shift. And that's so cool. But the behaviors and patterns that we follow is what Joe Dispenza dives into as well, correct?
Habits.
Habits.
Remember, he talks about habits. He actually puts it pretty simply, because when I first bought the book, I was like, oh, there's these graphs and diagrams, and I love science, but I never thought I'd be reading neuroscience.
Yeah.
I thought I'd be reading fashion and fitness.
It's incredible, though.
But this stuff blows your mind. I'm gonna hold it up. This book is amazing.
A lot, yeah.
So habits. If you're getting up in the morning and you're doing the exact same routine while you were in that negative situation, like you get up at a certain time, you get out of the bed the exact same way, you brush your teeth at the same time, you drink out of that same coffee mug that you do every morning, around the same time, you drive down that same road to work every day, you say hi to the same people every day, you're gonna stay in the same situation. You are adapting to these habits. That's what your subconscious knows. And you're not really able to make those shifts and changes. And I struggled with this because I thought I was making these strides. Yeah. And I do feel like I did.
Definitely.
Studying Reiki and getting certified, Reikiing myself so I didn't have to take any anti-anxiety pills. I shifted all the negative energy out of my body, and I even do that when I get triggered, like, oh, I'm not feeling great, I'm a little stressed. So I've learned how to calm down, do the breath work, Reiki myself. But then I just decided that wasn't enough.
Okay.
And I started to do research, and I want to help other people in my situation. And then all of a sudden I met you, and we're doing these talks that empower us to really speak of this stuff that's fascinating to help other people. So those are changes, those are positive changes, but we can still fall backwards into the same, not that they're bad habits, they're just old habits. And I noticed I still sleep on the same side of the bed, and I'm still drinking out of that same coffee cup, and I try to go down a different road now and then, but you do have to talk yourself, you have to shift your brain into change. And change is hard, and change is uncomfortable, but you're not going to change unless you get into that uncomfortable state, and that's what he's trying to teach. It is supposed to be uncomfortable.
No, exactly. And that, no one likes to be uncomfortable. Everyone wants the comfort zone, but whether you look at that on a low level of waking up on the same side of the bed, or brushing your teeth with the same hands.
Low level,
Low level. Or you look at it on a giant scale of breaking the state that you're in, breaking the pattern that you're in, just whatever your habits are, to do something bigger where you are making strides. Like you are, because, and that's to me, that's on a bigger scale than how you wake up every morning. But it falls directly in line. You need to get uncomfortable to have progress.
To make change.
Exactly. And so whether you look at it on a goal aspect, on what you want to achieve in life, or you look at it on just rewiring your brain with how you wake up. And the coolest thing is what falls directly in line with that book, and this is just a touch on it, with when you can do something different. So I brush my teeth with my left hand constantly. I tried doing it once with my right hand, and I was like, what the heck? I missed like 7 teeth. It was awful. And when you try writing, I'm a lefty when I write. When I try writing with my right hand, unless you're ambidextrous, that's really tough. What that does to your brain is it clears up the gray matter. It clears up the gray matter, it teaches you to rewire it, and it causes so many strides in your brain to be healthier. It causes you to look at it a different way. It opens doors in your brain. And he touches on that in this book, but it goes so much further in your life, whether it's how you wake up, how you brush your teeth, or writing, or how you go about your life. Get uncomfortable on a minuscule level, writing, or a big level, what is the next step I can take to, yes, get uncomfortable, but achieve something more. It's crazy.
It is crazy, and it also, when you were talking about the gray matter, it also allows you to absorb information faster because you're not in that fight or flight mode. You're actually paying attention, and your brain is calmer, your body's calmer. So that's why meditation is very important, and it's proven even in schools with young children that it does. You develop better cognitive skills. You're calmer. You're able to absorb information. So I just want to bring up one of the stories. I won't tell you about the whole book. I haven't finished the book, but there's a woman in the book that went to a couple of Dr. Joe Dispenza's seminars. Her name is Anna, and she had a horrible thing happen to her. Her husband ended up committing suicide, and she went into this major fight or flight disaster situation. Obviously, you're going to be stressed out, and she mourned his death, but then she went into this angry, negative, how am I going to take care of the kids, and how am I going to take care of myself? And she allowed her mind and her body to get sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker. She got so sick that she developed cancer. She got so sick that she developed a speech impediment. She couldn't talk for a while. I don't want to get into the entire story, but when she went to the seminars, she got the epiphany. She asked God, please help me. I don't want to die. I have to take care of my 3 kids. What can I do to make my situation better? And the light bulb went off. She said, okay, something bad happened to me. But I made myself physically and mentally sick over this. If I am capable of making myself so sick, I must be capable of making myself better. And that's when it started to shift.
Exactly.
The tumor decreased by a certain amount.
I believe it.
She bettered her relationships with her third child, was having trouble with her. They were fighting, and she bettered that relationship. And also, the speech came back. But she dedicated her life to not dealing with her situation in a maladaptive way, which is a bad way. Which is a bad way to wire the brain. It's how do I use this negative thing and shift it into a positive to help my kids, to help myself. Now, it took her quite some time, but the fact that this woman did this, and she's in the clear, and she's remarried, wonderful relationship, very happy, and now she's opened up a psychotherapy office. Wow, that just blew me away. I mean, she was on her deathbed. And what she did too.
That's incredible. It shows how incredible a change can happen when you.
Well, the human mind can be.
When you switch it.
So we have the power.
That touches on an idea as well that me and you have talked about before, and I think it would be so informative to everyone here. If you picture, like, we all go through struggles in life. We all have extreme moments, small moments, whatever it is. But if our mind focuses on that and our energy just flowing directly at that painful spot, kind of like we touched on at the start of the video, if you can picture your life is just flowing like a stream of water, and you're at your pond, it's just flowing, the stream's going,
it's calm,
and then you throw the rock in it, it creates the ripple effect, and it goes, and it goes, and it goes, and then it gets back to flowing, calm again, and strong again, like it's just a stream. Your life is always going to flow, but if we focus on just where that rock landed and that ripple effect, yes, the ripple effect will occur in your life for a time because that's us going through the grieving process, going through the process. We can make that switch and get that flow back where it's going. Where your mind goes, energy flows.
Energy flows,
you
absolutely.
can flip it back to that flow.
Yeah.
And that's something we touched on, and like that to me resonates when you explain the story.
Right. So what she did was, and this is part of, all of this is under the umbrella of mindfulness. It's called going inward. That's actually a strategy. In my mindfulness course, I think week 6 or 7 said to go inward, to actually acknowledge, stop trying to pretend it didn't happen. Don't try to pretend that your chest doesn't hurt. I'm not in pain, I feel fine. No, actually feel it. You know what? I'm really sad today, and it hurts, and I feel a tightness, and sort of this meditator that gave us a lesson said, baby yourself. Go inward, feel the pain, actually put your hand on your heart, maybe take the other hand and say, everything is going to be okay. When you do that for a few moments, all of a sudden, everything changes.
Yeah.
You find that your breathing is calmer, your shoulders relax. You're not going to die from this. It's
Yeah.
a situation.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's going to get better.
Yeah.
But you have to acknowledge it and sort of feel the pain. And
Yeah.
when you feel it, you're not faking it.
Exactly.
You can release it. You can get it out of your energy field.
Yeah.
Because this is all about energy.
Yeah.
And that's how you
I get that.
move forward. That's
Yeah.
to take the step forward.
I think that's awesome too, because you know what you just touched on, when you focus on it and everything, whether your chest is hurting or you're going through it, you need to go inwardly. I think you need to go to the soul, the spirit, energy. It falls directly in line with that. You need to go to that. You need to heal the spirit if you need to continue to grow in life. And if you're stuck where you're hurting, sadly, you see it in a lot of young people that they go through pain and they go directly out into the world, into the dark with this pain and won't acknowledge it, and it just buries.
Yeah.
And they need to go fill their time with everything, where they wake up every morning, they need to know what's on the checklist, what's on the schedule for today,
Stay busy.
because it's going to keep their mind off of what they are actually dealing with. But when you can go inwardly, like you just touched on, and heal, like you said, you need to baby yourself. You need to heal the kid inside.
Well, you have to acknowledge, I mean, I don't want to sound so, but it's called your inner child, and you
Yeah.
have to acknowledge that that inner child is hurt right now.
Exactly.
And to fake it and say, stay busy, just
Yeah.
stay really busy, and nobody's going to know how I'm feeling, and then it's going to make myself feel better. Well, the next day you're going to go back to being the same person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%. And like you need to dive inwardly, and like that's going to take you to a whole different level in life.
Yeah.
I think that if you don't do that, and you keep it inside, yes, there's a chance, you will make it somewhere in life. You will if you pursue what you want to pursue. But when you get there, you do not know what it truly feels like to be there, because you are still holding on to that.
Yes.
But if you can start the process with that,
Yes.
or go back, whether you're whatever age you are in life, watching this right now, you're a kid, a teenager, adult, or someone later in life, you got to do that and just watch the life come back to you. And
Right.
It's incredible.
Right. So I guess what we're saying to everybody is acknowledge it and feel it.
Yeah.
And it hurts. Go inward. You can journal about it, you can walk and look at nature, you can meditate, but once you clear it out, it is hard because we're human and we're adults and we go back to habit. Don't focus on it anymore.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Don't focus on what happened in the past.
Yeah.
Because when you live in the past, you're going to bring all that mess to the future. That happened yesterday. You're going to release the pain. To take a step forward and change your life, you've got to focus on the present moment, which is then
Exactly.
going to be your new future.
Yeah.
Because focusing on the past, there's actually charts and diagrams in this book
Yeah.
that shows that most of us do focus on the past. And
Yeah.
that's why we keep that sort of illness with us.
Yeah.
But if we can focus on the present moment, and
Yeah.
that's how you move forward. That's how you change your life.
Exactly. Your past creates. People say your past creates your future, which your past creates your future, but you need to go through the present to get there.
Yeah.
And depending on what you do in the present with your past, your future will result because of that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
something.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
mind-blowing work.
It
So
is. It's incredible though, and
Yeah.
guys, this book, go to the bookstore, go to the library, check it out. It's free.
Yeah.
Go to the library.
Yeah.
It's really.
it's not
worth
in
the
yet
read.
though. A couple months.
I
Yeah.
think this month actually.
Oh, really?
I
Okay,
think it's this
great.
month.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Go check it out. Find it online. Order it. It's so enlightening. There's a lot in there, but take your time with it. You learn a lot. Guys, in this video, we touched on capitalizing on that negativity, the habits that we follow that we may need to shift to get more of a result, whether it's something small like just your daily routine or something big and how we go about our goals. But guys, your brain adapts to that.
Yeah.
And depending on what happens in your life, whether it's the rocket and thrown into the stream or the flow of your water, it's going to go back to normal. But you choose when it does, and
Right.
that's where your mind goes.
Energy
that energy
flows.
flows.
Yeah.
Focus on that. Think on this video afterwards. Andrea, I thank you so much for being back on the show.
Thank you, Billy. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
I love this work.
Yeah,
It's
it's awesome.
Yeah.
I love these talks.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm going to put her videos that we've done together after this. Check them out. They are definitely worth the watch, because one of these messages could have been exactly what you've been looking for. But guys, thank you for tuning in. Andrea, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Have a good one, guys.
know I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made.